Hello and welcome. I'm Matt.
I'm Dio.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Seb.
And I'm Beth.
Together, representing 18 active members, we are
Enactus Durham.
Over the past year, Enactus has changed substantially, with the majority of the team being new members. As well as the three amazing projects you'll see today. The Dream Project, Brighten Futures, and Grassroots. We've also run a consultancy project, working with local artists to help improve their incomes. At just one event, we increased their revenue by over £1,000. Recently, we have also secured a sponsorship agreement with a local business worth almost £3,000, ensuring the sustainability of the society into the future. Now, let me introduce you to Beth, who will take you on the journey of the Dream Project.
The Dream Project has been founded in the hometowns of three of our members, in Kibera, Kenya, New Delhi, India, and Durham. Within each community, we aim to provide those most in need with the skills, knowledge, and self-confidence to create their own businesses or find employment. In order to transfer these skills, we use a structured program of business-based, interactive workshops facilitated by our members or our partners on the ground. The workshops cover topics such as business planning, marketing, budgeting, and job seeking. We are able to consider the relevant factors to be able to adapt this program into each needs group in the different countries that we worked in. We will now show you how we run the Dream Programme in Kibera, Kenya. In Kibera, the world's largest slum, 50% of the population live below the poverty line. That's 50% of people barely surviving on less than $1 a day. One of our members who witnessed this reality also discovered that 60% of children do not attend secondary school, meaning they leave without the necessary skills and education to improve their situation. After conducting a further needs assessment in conjunction with the Kibera Implementers Foundation, we realised there was a particular need for education in entrepreneurial skills such as business planning, marketing products and finance. Since April last year, we have now conducted these workshops which has impacted the lives of 110 students in charity schools, and this year we ran a business competition. Viable business plans were provided with a start-up fund of £450, where now 3 socially responsible businesses have been created, empowering the lives of 9 students, resulting in an increase in income for them and their families. We are proud to say that overall the Kibera Dream has equipped 110 students with the necessary skills to help lift themselves out of the poverty trap. Across the entire Dream project, we have been able to adapt our programme from Kibera into New Delhi, India and Durham, and we continue to help those most in need improve their standard of living through gaining employment or developing entrepreneurial skills. In total, we have impacted the lives of 140 individuals across 3 different countries, and we plan for these programs to continue running into the future. I'll now introduce you to Brighten Futures.
The story of our project, Brighten Futures, started 2 years ago when a member of Enactus Durham Nuseba brought upon our attention another major need of the community of Kibera. Nuseba grew up in Nairobi, and every day she would see the problems happening right on her doorstep. In particular, she became concerned with the people's dependence on kerosene, seeing as they lived in corrugated shacks with no windows due to safety reasons.
We became compelled to act upon the discovery of this reality. We were aware of the huge negative health, economic and environmental impacts of kerosene.
1. Regular exposure to kerosene fumes has the same consequences as smoking 40 cigarettes a day.
2. Families in such communities spend up to 13% of their monthly income on kerosene.
And 3. A single kerosene lamp emits up to 1 ton of carbon over 5 years. As well as these impacts, the kerosene lamps also generate a lot of heat. This makes the life of Kiberians, who often run businesses in their own houses, very uncomfortable.
We wanted to help the people of Kibera get rid of this unfortunate device. We saw the need for change.
We came up with an innovative new solution, a business that would serve the needs of the community through providing an alternative to a kerosene lamp, a product which is cheap, eco-friendly, and easy to distribute to the community of Kibera. This is the solar bottle.
The solar bottle is a plastic bottle filled with a chlorine solution. Once installed on the roof of a building, it starts refracting light to the extent that it manages to completely illuminate a small household.
We became very enthusiastic about this device because 1, it is simple to make, 2, all of its materials can be locally sourced, benefiting local businesses, 3, it finds a purpose for used up bottles, making it very eco-friendly, and 4, it generates no heat. Having found the solution we are looking for, we became determined to transform this idea into action.
Nuseva, a member from Enactus Durham, found 3 people who were in need of employment. Using Skype and through classroom-based sessions, we transferred knowledge on how to make and install these bottles to 3 initial beneficiaries, David, Kevin and Michael. We then utilised these 3 members to successfully transfer knowledge to a further 9 people, making our current team of 12.
Our projects empower partners like Kevin to run a business which benefits his community and help him escape unemployment and to secure a minimum of £1.40 a day, the equivalent of 3 meals in Kibera.
So how does the business work?
Brighton Futures runs as a social enterprise. The overall cost of the bottles is 240 Kenyan shillings and the lifespan is of 5 years. The team leader in Kibera, David, managed to contact Kenyan companies who are looking to satisfy their CSR goals. These companies agreed to subsidize the installation of bottles throughout Kenya. This enables us to charge households a minimum 50 Kenyan shillings, the same as 3 to 5% as the average monthly income wage in Kibera. This is also an insignificant sum compared to the 9,000 Kenyan shillings a household would normally have to pay for the equivalent of 5 years of daytime kerosene use. We also installed 500 bottles for free in 10 schools and 3 churches, which enables 200 children to study in a safer and cleaner environment, improving their quality of life.
Since initiation, we have installed over 7,000 bottles, significantly reducing the expenditure on kerosene and halving the exposure to fumes for over 15,000 people. Our actions have increased the overall disposable income of the community by at least £5,000 a month. Also, by acquiring 7,000 bottles, we managed to generate £150 for the local recycling business in the past year. People are also able to work in their homes, as they don't have to bear the heat generated by kerosene lamps anymore. So what else is new this year?
As well as nurturing further financial and health safety skills, this is what we found.
He's a businessman, he's a tailor, and the light is helping him during the day. He can do his work. He's also of the same opinion as others that if we can get a nice solution, improved one, a solar bottle which can produce light during the night, it can be good for him.
Once we solved the essential need of light during daytime, we realized that the people of Kibera were also in need of a nighttime solution. Our research revealed that solar lamps could be easily sold at affordable prices if bought in quantity. The solar lamps would be charged during daytime when the solar bottles would provide light, so that they could provide light at night.
In the past 3 months, we focused on developing a solar lamp business. Our project lead in Kibera, David, managed to secure an agreement with a supplier that would allow us to sell the solar lamps at a markup of around 20% while still offering it at affordable prices. We are currently using 3 new salespeople who receive a minimum of a meal per day as payment and bonuses for every lamp sold. So far, we have sold 45 solar lamps, and I'm proud to have helped 180 people completely eradicate the use of kerosene.
As a new development this year, we decided to reach out to youth groups in Mombasa, the second largest slum area in Kenya. Using the same business models, we have already installed 120 solar bottles and sold 5 solar lamps throughout Mombasa. We hope to continue to scale further our business models throughout Mombasa to help them get rid of their reliance on kerosene. And finally, with the profits made through our 2 solar projects, we have decided to start a self-sustainable community microloan business. The first microloan of £140 has already been given to a laundry business in Kibera. To summarise, Brighton Futures has
Offered employment to 12 people, increasing their monthly income by £30.
provided free light to 10 schools and 3 churches,
increased the overall disposable income of 3,500 families by 3.4% a month,
and offered 15,000 people affordable light, attracting a lot of media attention. We hope to continue to improve the life of thousands, brightening their futures. We will now introduce you to Grassroots.
Our journey starts in Bududa, a small town in eastern Uganda, where the primary activity of its residents is farming and other agricultural-related activities. 2 years ago, we were approached by Wala. Wala had worked with Enactus Durham on a previous project in Kenya and recently visited his hometown in Uganda. He told us a heartbreaking story of the problems people were facing in the region.
2012 saw the third consecutive year of major landslides in the region, burying 3 villages and killing over 300 people. That was a sizable chunk of this route.
Over 180,000 people inhabit the steep slopes of this region. We have the chief of Bududa talk about the impact of landslides.
Of course, both of them survived narrowly. Their friends, their neighbors, their relatives died with them when they survived.
In an already impoverished country, the effects are still being felt with a large displacement of people, loss of agricultural income, and spreading of pathogenic diseases, leading to a perpetual cycle of poverty. It was obvious to us we had to do something to prevent landslides, save lives, and improve the quality of life in the community. But the question was, how could we prevent natural disaster and create economic opportunity?
At Enactus Durham, we came up with an innovative and new solution. A solution that is preventative and sustainable. A solution that engages the whole community whilst preventing landslides. A solution that enables further benefits to the quality of life other than landslide prevention. This solution is vetiver grass. Vetiver is a special form of grass whose complex root system stabilizes the soil, thereby reducing the risk of landslides. The roots are even taller than me, almost as tall as Matt, and help bind the soil together, thereby reducing the risk of landslides.
After seeing its success in Asia, we knew we wanted to bring it to Bududa. We therefore partnered with the chief of a local governing body, the Vetiver Network International, and Wala to assess the factors affecting the community. To understand the environmental and social factors, we commissioned a viability report of the Vetiver Network International to understand the effects of the plants on the native species. Wala and the chief helped us understand the attitudes of the community so we could understand the social responsibility. With the feedback and the report positive, we contacted the Ugandan Agricultural Department, and with their permission, we obtained the first ever permit to import, plant, and distribute vetiver grass across the whole of Uganda.
Through our collaboration with the Vetiver Network International, we have successfully transferred the knowledge of the grass to the community. So far, this initiative has engaged 12 farmers and several students who've been taught to plant and grow the grass. The community helped us to identify the most vulnerable members so that Enactus Durham could help provide them with the opportunity to start rebuilding their lives. Mama Jane was among the first farmers involved in this initiative. Having lost her family, her crops, and her livelihood, she was keen on implementing a sustainable solution that would help prevent a natural disaster. After importing over 4,000 shoots of grass, cultivating them in the nursery, they have now been replanted on the slopes and are at full size, actively preventing landslides. For the community, this means safer areas to live, get educated, and earn a living.
After addressing the most pressing need of preventing loss and destruction, the next phase of the project was focusing on the economic needs. With the root of the vetiver grass preventing landslides, we came up with numerous different uses for the grass, which would benefit the community by increasing their disposable income and improving their quality of life.
As well as being used to feed livestock and thatch roofs, we came up with 2 easily marketable products that could be used and developed by the community. Our first product, vetiver tea, utilizes the essential oils present in vetiver leaves and is used as a tisane. It is currently undergoing testing to be sold in Uganda with a long-term plan of bringing it to the market in the UK. Our second product, vetiver brick, is our branded briquette made using vetiver grass cuttings. It can be used as a fuel source for cooking and is naturally smoke-free and insect repelling. It is cheaper than most conventional sources of fuel and is in high demand locally. With these two products acting as an additional source of income for the community, Enactus Durham is working towards establishing a community bank from the sales of the profits of the tea and the briquette. This long-term plan reduces the community's reliance on us and increases the project's sustainability. Due to Wala's involvement in the key project 2 years ago, he has the knowledge of business skills that will aid in the marketing of the tea and the briquettes. So far, this initiative has saved the farmers the cost of feeding their cattle, which amounts to savings of £1,250 each month.
We have empowered over 12 farmers and saved over £1,250 a month. The media and the government have recognised this by the increased attention the project is receiving. The President of Uganda is scheduled to visit the project on his next trip to Bududa. With over 100 community members involved, the potential for the grass is huge.
In summary, in the past year, Enactus Durham has started 3 new businesses in Kibera.
Empowered 140 students.
7,000 bottles and 50 lambs sold.
Employing 12 people in Kibera.
Empowered 12 farmers in Bududa.
Saved over £1,250 a month.
We are Enactus Durham.
Judges, if you have a question, please state your name and company and raise your hand so we can see where your questions are.
Hi, Sarah Pajwani, What If Innovation. Can you tell us a bit more about the brick and how much is being sold and what state is that in terms of development?
We're currently working on getting a permit for the vetiver briquette, but it is currently being used for self-use in Bududa.
Hi, it's Mark Hassan from EY. You said that the grass has got huge potential and certainly it looks very exciting, but you said the first time it's been imported to Uganda and permitted. So who spotted the opportunity to bring it in and how did you get permission to bring an alien plant into that country?
One of our members wanted to make a difference to Bududa, and one of our previous members was from Kenya, and he wanted to come up with a solution that would help stabilize the soil given the geography of the region. And so we came up with a solution, and we had a viability report commissioned to make sure that the non-native plant was not invasive for the region, and it's turned out to be very, very beneficial for the community. And how we got the permission to do this was that we worked with the chief of the local governing body as well as the Vetiver Network International, which is a non-profit organization working towards spreading the knowledge of vetiver grass to the entire world. They helped us obtain a permit from the government, and therefore we're the only organization allowed to import vetiver into Uganda.
Richard Barton from RBS. The 45 solar lamps that you've sold for such a big place seems to be a relatively modest number at the moment. How long have you been selling them for, and how many do you expect to sell?
Okay, so the solar lamp is a new business that we've started this year. It's an initiative that started a few months ago. The idea was that through the money saved through the solar bottles, because people don't spend that much money on kerosene anymore, they save a lot more money, and then in time they will be able to purchase solar lamps with the money that they've saved through installing the solar bottle. So I know we've only installed 45 lamps so far, but it's still a new project, and I have all the confidence that it's going to expand.
Questions?
James Battersby from GlaxoSmithKline. Very interested in the grass project. 4,000 shoots. What sort of area of ground is that currently covering?
We are currently covering the slopes, although it's not, it sounds like a big number, but it's only a small part of the slope, and we're hoping to expand a lot more. But it would probably be half the size of this room is what we've covered, and we hope to cover the entire room in the next year.
Hello, Lisa Cameron, EY. In relation to the solar lamps, was that a product that has been used in other countries and you just took it here, or was it actually developed for the purposes of this project?
The solar lamps are the same type that we're using in Kibera. They are sold in the UK as well. They're made by an American company, I believe, but they were the company who were able to offer us the best prices, so that's why we chose them.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeff McDonald from Unilever, and I'm going to ask the question of the lady right on the end here. Of all of these projects, if you had to invest your own money in this, which project would you invest it in and why?
Of all the ones we currently run, I would choose Better Grass because there's so much potential from such a easy product. There's so much scope to do, and we have lots of plans for the future, and I think that it's the potential that's exciting for us, and as a team we look forward to developing it further.
Chris Seal from Jeffries Hall Bay. Question for Matt. You've got interesting projects across different countries and different products. How do you manage your team to make sure that you don't lose focus?
Our team, well, we're small in number, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're not as great as a big team. We're all completely dedicated to our project. The team leaders of each project, as well as the international and local project director, they put a lot of their time into running projects, and I have meetings with them regularly to check out on what's happening.
Presentation time has expired. I'm sorry. Let's thank